Joe, first off, congratulations. The Barracuda are headed to the playoffs. I know there's a lot of different things that could mean for players, for the franchise, the organization. What does it mean to you?
It means meaningful games. It means being to where we've planned to be, to get the prospects into the organization, playing, having meaningful roles surrounding them, and just back to some very important time.
Does it also mean something to the Sharks as an NHL team? Like, their AHL team has obviously done well this year, and it has been a rotating cast of characters on the CUDA. I do want to talk about that and how leadership has held it together. But what does the CUDA making the playoffs mean to the Sharks?
I think it's a precursor, hopefully, to something in the future, not too distant future with the Sharks. Playoff experience is playoff experience, and just to have our young players be able to go through that right now, and our depth players be able to go through that hopefully winning breeds winning, and we start the process, and it just rolls over into the Sharks.
And if you would, explain the AHL playoffs, because for Sharks fans who have become accustomed to best of sevens round after round, that's not it. And in the AHL, that first round, a best of three, all in the higher seed city, I mean, that could get interesting. That could be one of the most interesting postseason barriers for the CUDA.
Yeah, very interesting. And it has to do with distance. Anything over 350 miles, the high seed gets to host all three games in the best of three first round. Right now, we will be the lower seed, so we'll be going to Abbotsford, Coachella, or Ontario. So we're trying to figure out the dates that's going to be next week. But it's the Calder Cup playoffs is just as much of a grind as the Stanley Cup playoffs. Yeah. Last year, I think they ended within a few days of each other. Yeah. They go late June. Meaningful hockey for a long time, for a couple months. That's why it's such a hard championship to win. But it's best of three, followed by two best of fives, followed by two best of sevens.
You've had players this season go up to the Sharks. You've had players go other places. You've had players get hurt. You've had everything. And that's probably common for an AHL team and roster. But what is the glue that has held this group together? And in my mind, it's probably some of the leadership players. Yeah,
it's a few things. We have some really good leaders here. I mean, we have the I think the MVP of the American Hockey League, and Andrew Podorowski, Jimmy Schultz.
What a get, by the way.
Yeah, he's been great, as advertised. Yeah. He's been to the finals 4 times, been finals MVP, and can't wait to get him back. But Jimmy Schultz, Colin White, Scott Sabourin, Lucas Carlson, just a good group of guys to kind of help bring the group around that way has really helped.
I want to talk about Yaroslav Ascarov, who was up with the Sharks, got a taste of the NHL, seemed like it went pretty well, then with the CUDA, and also had an injury that he's been dealing with. What have you seen in this maybe segmented season for him? First in San Jose.
I think he's a great fit for the organization. First of all, came in, just being right about the same age as the prospects, and he's going to be able to grow with this for a long time. It's with him. It's just like anybody else. It's putting mileage on the odometers. He just needs to put in the games. He's put them in at the American League level, at the NHL level, done well at both places. There's ups and downs, and there's growth opportunities, and right now that's how he's going to learn, is by experiencing the good and the bad. There's been a lot more good. He's played well. He's got a lot of really great coaching from our Nabby and the other coaches in the organization. So far so good with him, and very pleased that we have him.
I've also liked to see Luca Canyone up with the Sharks, but also I've seen the body of work here with the Barracuda. What do you project in his near future? And obviously, that's a great player to have on your team for these Calder Cup playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, puck moving defensemen are so valuable. And he, it came in, he was 19 for the first half of the year. He was a late birthday for the draft, so he was able to come in a little bit earlier. And, just to be at that age, to have those types of tools, to come in and grow at this level, he's doing great. He's highly confident. He hasn't had a lot of dips because of that. Like, he takes care of himself pretty well on there. And it's just, again, like anything else, putting in the time. I think when he went up the NHL, he saw the bigger, faster players and everything else. Gives him a glimpse on really what he needs to work on in the summer. It's
a shame that Shakir Mukhamadullin is not going to be able to play with the injury in the postseason. He got injured in a Sharks game and shut down for the rest of the season. That being said, Colin Graf now is back with the Barracuda for the stretch run and the rest of the way. I think those two are probably the most seasoned NHL players of Barracuda experience this year, too. Is that safe to say?
Yeah, I think
they got
so.
the biggest taste up there?
They get the biggest taste. They went up, and they really kind of fit right in. I think Graffer helped. Last year, he went up at the end of the season after a long season at Quinnipiac.
That's right.
He came in, played with the Sharks, much like Cam Lund is doing right now.
Right.
And then and now this year he started off with the Barracuda, played very, very well. Earned his recall, went up, and not only he can produce, but he became one of our best penalty killers.
Yeah.
And the coaches were very happy with him there. So he grew there, and now it's time he's coming back here, and hopefully he can and lead and play a bigger role here. And I think developing at both levels is good, because here he's going to get more minutes, he's going to get more situations. With the Sharks, probably a little bit less, but it's higher competition. So I think to be able to play both with a lot of these guys is really good.
So the OHL season not complete yet for everybody, but for Chernyshov and Musty, it's over. They get to come here to San Jose and be part of the Barracuda. I mean, it must feel like Christmas in, what month are we? April right now, right? To be able to have them just come here, get a taste of this. What do you hope to get out of players like that who are switching teams and season kind of midstream and now joining for a very important part?
Well, I think you get a few things. I mean, first of all, you get depth and you get competition.
Yeah.
So you get, coaches have choices, we have choices, but equally as important, we get development. And they come in and, some of the guys end up playing more than others. Some guys don't, because we have a team that's performed pretty well. So it's competition. Some guys aren't going to play, but at the same time, they get to be around this atmosphere. They get to practice. Everything's higher level, learn by osmosis. So, as we saw, Musty played on the weekend. Chernyshov hasn't been in yet, but we have options there. We do have guys get hurt. Like we said, it's a 2-month run here potentially. So it's it's very valuable that they come in.
What are you excited to see specifically about Musty? Maybe obviously from the OHL where he had a very productive season. Do you look at how that translates here, or do you already know what to expect or what you might get? Or obviously this is a small sample size too. How do you start expectations?
Well, I think for him it's great experience because he has to really up his timing. You're in the Ontario Hockey League, and he, scores. I won't say it will, but when you're 2 points a game, it's
right.
It's almost like that.
He's kind of outdone that league, right? Like that league is not meant for him anymore.
Yeah,
right?
I think production-wise, he can work on other parts of his game, but production-wise, yes. And part of the production is he has a lot of time. Mm-hmm. And as he came in and saw the other night, he's playing against Ontario. They're very stingy and very tight, and he doesn't have the same time. So, like, this time that he would have to make a play or shoot or do anything in the Ontario Hockey League, he doesn't have that here.
Right.
And it's great like because it's like much like Will Smith at the beginning of this year in the NHL. Mm-hmm. You could see that jumping 2 levels from the NCAA up. It was like trying to get a shot off right on there. It was like just a little bit of timing. Didn't take him long. Once he got that timing down, it came. But you have to experience that.
I'm trying to remember when Chernyshov debuted in the OHL this year. Was it January, February?
Yeah, Chernyshov, it was January.
Sometime around there, January. But he lit the league on fire, too. Also a player with kind of a segmented season type situation going on. When we see him, what might that look like?
Big and strong, can shoot the puck, can make plays. He's been about 2.5 points per game. When he was there, he played with Misa, who's a high pick in this year's draft, and Zane Perek, Calgary's defenseman. So like they were the 3 of them there with Saginaw were electric, and I think he just really has a lot of tools.
Yeah. I think the last points I want to make here is just how exciting all of this is seeming to come together, because maybe in these Calder Cup playoffs, this is a true glimpse of the Sharks' future. Now, obviously, Macklin and Will, everybody focuses on them, but we already know where they're at and what they're doing for the Sharks. But if you watch these playoffs, I mean, is it fair to say that you are going to see what the core of the next Sharks group looks like?
Yeah, I think, and you never know who's going to, rise to the occasion.
Right.
It could be a number of players in here.
Right.
And the thing is with the amount of draft picks and prospects and all that we've acquired over the past few years, you're starting finally to see them come in. It takes a while in an 18-year-old draft, because they go back to college or junior. Now they're coming to this level, get to see them a little more. Not everyone's going to make it. Some players that you didn't really expect to are, and other ones you kind of thought are going to. Maybe not as much, but it's great between, I think, the amount of prospects that we have here that going to see a lot of really good hockey, and you're right, the future of the Sharks. And
last thing is, theoretically, looking at all the Sharks' high draft picks, I think 4 in the first and second round this year, 4 in the first and second round next year's draft, next summer's draft. This probably should be the start of a pretty good run for the Barracuda, like playoffs on a regular basis, winning on a regular basis. This should probably be the beginning of that, don't you think?
I think so, because I think when you go through this now, we've had great attendance this year and great fan support, and you can't really talk about that enough. It's been great, and so I think expectations are rising,
right.
And anytime that rises, it's great. It puts a little bit of pressure on everybody. We expect a win. We need to have that swagger around here again, like we had for many years with the Sharks and the Barracuda.
Yeah.
And you can sense that coming back. And this is really the start, meaningful games, and then winning some of these games, and then expecting to win these games, and it just becomes our way. And it's contagious. It starts the flywheel in the right direction.
Well, I hope to be doing some coverage and content for many more weeks to come with the Barracuda. Joe, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Brodie.